All right, so I have a lot of things to say. Who knows how long this will take? So, in my decades-long relationship with Instagram, I don't think I've ever gotten a post that got 100,000 plus views, and I think right now this one's up to 110,000 views. And granted, this is a hot button, or was a hot button issue, but people are still sharing it. And all I did was cross-post something I posted on Threads, and so then Threads took that picture, the image of that, and I put it on Instagram. So this post I wrote, Jillian Michaels is the perfect example of how someone who is Jewish, queer, and a parent of a black child can still be transphobic, racist, and support white supremacist revisionist history. And then I wrote, if you are Jewish and benefit from white privilege, please think about Jillian Michaels' statement the next time you tell me Jews can't be white. I shared that because often whenever I talk about racism in the Jewish community, I get Jews aren't white, which has nothing to do with nothing to do about racism in the Jewish community. But people like to throw that around. Like I said, that got about 110K views when I looked at it a little while ago. Then, and I know it's a hot button issue, but I never expected a picture, no music, no video, it's just the picture with the words. And then I did the same thing, cross-posted something. And in fact, there's another one I'm not going to read that I think has about 8,000 views. But this one I'm about to share with you right now has also 8,000 views. But I wrote, I have been frustrated with Black and Jewish alliance organizations for years, decades really. These alliances cannot only be framed as binary because many Jews are Black, and too often what I see are alliances that function in only one direction, spaces where Black people are expected to learn about the Jewish experience. But real alliance must be two-way. For my Jewish siblings who are generally interested in dialogue and learning, you must also commit to learning about Black people and anti-Black racism. The goal cannot only be to rid the world of anti-Semitism, but it must also be to rid the Jewish community of racism. And then I wrote it in the description. Real alliance must be two-way. If we want to build authentic solidarity, then Jewish spaces must also commit to learning about Black people and confronting anti-Black racism. Liberation means dismantling both anti-Semitism and racism, not one at the expense of the other. And then I wrote, what are your thoughts? What does true two-way solidarity look like? All right. So I did get a lot of comments and discussions that are pretty interesting. But on both of those, I also got people's feelings and trauma, them writing about stuff that's actually not on the page. And that's something that happens to me a lot because I seem to trigger people. And I even had one person say, and I'm going to be nicer than what he said because I don't want to pull it up. But basically, he said to me that I have a history of, I don't know, saying harmful things to Jewish people as if I'm not Jewish. And then he's like, who's funding me? This is a real person. I actually know who he is. I don't know him in real life, but you've been on social media for a long time. You meet people online. That didn't even make any sense to me at all. But often, and one other guy, when I asked about what does true solidarity look like, he said a bunch of stuff about what he assumed Black people would want or say. And I said, thank you for saying that, but can you focus on what your experience? I said, since you're not Black, can you focus on what your experience in alliance building as a non-Black Jewish person? Anyway, those are just some thoughts, but I find it interesting, those two posts that are not videos, have no music, they're just basically screenshots of other posts, have gotten the most attention on by Instagram, and has seemed to have struck a nerve with folks. I don't know. Anyway, just unpacking for today, unpacking some thoughts. Y'all have a great